Hi guys, this is a week 5 of 6 weeks challenge to lose weight. So far I've lost 7.5 kilos and there is only 1 week to go. So we'll take a look on it next week. In this video I would like to share with you the basics of the weight loss. You want to be in that sweet spot between 0 and 350 calories. A zone where we're gaining weight, as well as I'll show you an example of a week when on one of the days we will be gaining weight, on one of the days we will be losing weight, and on another day we will be maintaining weight. And after that we will take a look on how the whole summary for the week looks like. There are many ways how to achieve weight loss, and I already recorded several videos on this topic, so by all means please make sure you check those videos and get the best out of it and apply it to your journey on getting to desired weight. Weight loss formula is very simple and we all know it. We just need to make sure that we are consuming less calories when we burn. When it comes to understanding the calories, it sounds very complicated. What's going on? How do you know how much you consume? How much you actually burn throughout the day? So what we will take a look first is what we actually burn throughout the day. There is something called BMR, which is basal metabolic rate, which will give you guidance of how many calories your body requires for very basic functionality to just pretty much go through the day. So if you would like to find out your BMR or basal metabolic rate, then just go online, type BMR calculator, and you will find an option where you just have to enter your gender, your weight, your height, and also your age. And this will give you a guideline of how many calories you should be consuming throughout the day. Okay, let's take a look on Monday first. So let's say we are waking up in the morning and we start at start line of 0 calories. So when we have our breakfast, and let's say it's a bigger breakfast and we have 900 calories which are added to our calories consumed. So as we progress throughout the day, around 10 o'clock or so, we are having a snack which adds an additional 100 calories to our pool of calories consumed. When we proceed to the lunch is a bit smaller than breakfast and we have only 500 calories. Later on throughout the day, around 4, we fill for another snack and we have additional 100 calories on our pool. When it gets to the evening and we have our dinner, and additional 600 is added to the total pool of calories consumed. So if you'll take a look on Monday, total number of calories consumed is 2200, when our BMR is 1750. So the quick maths, we are actually in a surplus of calories of 450 calories on this day. So what it means for us, that we will end up around here. And what it means, it's basically a zone where the gaining weight is starting. So if you will carry on using this particular approach throughout a long period of time, we will be slowly getting additional weight. So again, if your goal is not to add extra weight, but actually lose weight, then we need to do some adjustments. So let's take a look on the next day. Let's take a look on Tuesday and what happens here. The starting point is slightly different because we were in surplus of calories on Monday. So our starting point is not 0, but actually we are starting around 450. And in here, in the morning, we decided to do some exercise, and this exercise brought us down 400 calories. So we actually burned extra 400 calories, which is great. So as we went to the breakfast, we had exactly the same breakfast as on Monday, which added 900 calories to our pool of consumed calories. Then we proceeded and had snack as usual. Then we had the usual lunch and our snack. But when it comes to the evening, we decided, you know what, I'm actually not hungry and I would like to skip the dinner altogether. So we never had this dinner in here and we went to sleep. So in here the picture is completely different. What happens here, we only consumed 1600 calories while our BMR is 1750, and also we've done an exercise where we burned extra 400 calories. The total for Tuesday brought us into the deficit of calories of 550 calories. So the end point now is in a beautiful spot where we would like to be, is weight loss zone. So the more calories you restrict yourself, the faster you lose the weight. but again, as I mentioned in the previous videos, you don't want to completely go ballistic and I don't know, be in deficit of calories, like 1000 calories. You want to be in that sweet spot between 0 and 350 calories. All right, let's take a look at an example of Wednesday. So what happens here, because we've done really well on Tuesday, we already started in a deficit of calories, and in here we are having a smaller breakfast. So we're not having our usual 900 calorie breakfast, but we decided, you know what, I won't put extra spoon of peanut butter in my porridge, which basically leads us to having only 650 calories in breakfast. When though we are feeling a bit hungry and we are having a bigger snack, which is rather than 100 calories as usual, we have a bigger snack which is leading to 250 calories consumed. When we have a lunch of 600 calories, we have another snack of 100 calories, and then our usual dinner of 600 calories. After the dinner, we feel like going and exercising, maybe a walk outside for 30 to 45 minutes, maybe a strength training. Again, if it's a strength training, don't push it too hard towards the time you're going to sleep, because otherwise you won't fall asleep. But if it's a cardio or walk outside, it's beautiful, beautiful exercise to do. So in here, we are losing 400 calories as we do the exercise. So let's take a look on the total for Wednesday. Total amount of calories consumed is exactly the same as we consumed on Monday, 2,200 calories. Calories spent in here is our usual BMR, which is 1750, and 400 calories we consumed during the exercise. So the total brings us to just 50 calories of a surplus. In here, I would say when you have such a small surplus, most likely you're just going to maintain the weight. And again, if your goal is to maintain weight, you would like to be in this kind of example of a day. Perfect, so let's take a look how we progress further. So I'll take a look on Thursday next, and in here, because we were relatively good for last few days, and we basically are starting with our exercise in the morning on Thursday, which brings us even lower in amount of calories. So we are not consuming, but we are actually burning extra calories here. Usual breakfast, 900 calories. Then we have a lunch, and we have a dinner. So what you have noticed in here, we don't have any snacks. We just excluded those 2 snacks which we usually have throughout the day. So the total amount of calories we have is just 2000 calories. When we take a look on example of how many calories we actually burn, you will see that usual BMR is 1750. The exercise we've done in the morning is 400. So that brings us to a deficit of calories of 150 calories. Again, that's a sweet spot where you are ending up in a green zone, if you like, where the weight loss is happening. So the more times throughout the week you're in a weight loss zone, the more likely you are to lose weight on the long run. Alright, so that was our Thursday. We're moving on to Friday, and Friday we started in a perfect spot, if you like. And in here we just had a breakfast, we had a lunch, and we had a dinner. So that's another example, no snacks. So in here we have a smaller breakfast, which makes a massive difference. So in here the breakfast was only 600 calories compared to 900 usual, and also we had just a bit smaller dinner, which brought us to 500 calories from 600, and the total amount of calories throughout the day is 1600. We haven't done any exercise at all. We pretty much just ate less. We've not done any exercise, and we just let our body to consume what is required throughout the day, like for keeping us up, keeping us alive, being able to organs to function. And in here the total again is minus 150 calories. So when we are talking about weight loss, it's not mandatory to have exercise. Exercise will help you, will boost metabolism, will make you feel healthier, be more active and fit, but it's not a must. So if, for example, for you, the best action point is going to be, I don't want to do exercise, I just want to restrict myself on the calories a bit, then this example is perfect. You slightly cut on your breakfast, lunch and dinner, and you already get into a point, you are in deficit of calories, and you're again in that beautiful spot of a green area of losing weight. And let's take a look on the weekend. The reason I said in my previous videos that the weekend is the most challenging one, because things happen on weekend. So if you're in here, we might be working or doing anything we like. When it comes to weekend, we actually might go bananas. So what I mean by that, we woke up in the morning, we were in a sweet spot, we had our usual breakfast because we feel like celebrating and look after ourselves during the weekend. We had a small snack which added additional 150 calories. Then we had considerable lunch, nothing special, I would say 500 calories. And then we were invited to a party. So when we consumed 1000 calories there, be it drinks, be it fast food, be it anything, be it even healthy meals, it doesn't really matter what you're consuming, on a run of calories per day, if you like. But in here, the total consumption brought us to 2500 calories. And obviously, our BMR is only 1750, we haven't done any exercise on that day. So here, we end up in surplus of calories of 750 calories. And in a moment, we'll take a look how it's going to affect our total results for a week. So in here, when the BMR goes through, you end up even higher in a zone of actually gaining weight. So we are far away from the point where we want to be from the green zone. We are actually above the red zone. And in here, let's say we wake up on Sunday, we feel guilty or not, I don't know, but we decided to skip our breakfast. Maybe we don't feel like it, maybe we had a drink or so, I don't know. But we decided to skip our breakfast and get back on track because we are trying hard to make sure we are losing that weight. So when we get to the lunch, we only consume a usual lunch, 600 calories. We feel a bit hungry, we have a snack of 100 calories. And when we follow up with a small dinner of 600 calories. So in here, the example is we only have 1300 calories on Sunday, and our BMR kicks in, and we are consuming 1700, actually burning 1750 calories. So again, in here we are in deficit of calories. However, we need to keep in mind that the day before we were in a massive surplus. So even after being in deficit of calories, we end up around here, which is pretty much where we started. So in here, as you can see, we started with a 0, and as we progress throughout the week, we ended up with a 0. So when you step on the scales on Sunday morning or Monday morning, let's say, you will see that nothing really happened. Even though in here we have Tuesday, we were sticking with deficit of calories. On Thursday, we were sticking with a deficit of calories. Same with Friday, and then same with Sunday. So we were 4 days in deficit of calories, yet we haven't lost anything. So that's what very important lesson for myself, to make sure that throughout the week you actually have a bigger picture and understanding that every day counts. Because we measure ourselves only once a week, it doesn't mean that basically we can do 3 days well, 2 days not well, and after that another day well and not well. You just need to be consistent and be aware of amount of calories you are consuming. I would say there are people and my friends who actually used the approach where they were very strict throughout the whole week, 5 days, and after that they knew that weekend is not going to be good, they can't control much about it, or they don't want to control much about it, and they would have extra calories on weekend. But in here again, if you will consider that you will be in here, instead of 450 calories plus, you would be actually minus 450 calories instead of this. What will happen, let's say you, in here, you just need to add another exercise at the end of the day, which will burn 450 calories, and maybe in here, just reduce by 25%. Not by writing, but let's say by 25% you reduce what you consume, and then you would end up actually, by end of the week, losing some weight. There are small adjustments we need to do, and the big picture we need to be aware of, that it does matter what we consume. So hopefully this video is helpful for you, and if you find it helpful, by all means guys, please share it with friends. Hopefully it will help more people, because the goal in here is not to just lose weight in 6 weeks, which is a bonus if you like, but it's more to understand our body and how we function, what we need to be aware of when we're eating, how actually the things work on behind the scene as well. And thank you so much, I really appreciate it, and have a great day.